This will be fun. That's right, guys. You might have seen this at SEMA, and I have been waiting literally ever since SEMA happened. But we finally got our hands on this bad boy. The Harbor Freight Badland Off-road Jack. So, of course, it comes boxed up, and I'm assuming it needs some assembly. So, let's just tear into it. So it is completely within my nature to just put ridiculously big wheels on everything that I have. So why should our Jack be any different? Now it also comes with this little guy, which is gonna go right there. So this is actually gonna be for our extension mount. And as you can see here, this little knob will actually tighten that down. And of course, we're gonna have our pin to set the height on the extension. Now we get to the good part. Let's test it out. Look at that. It already wants to get to work. I see y'all looking at that engine. Don't worry about that engine. We have liftoff. If you're new here, that's my Jeep Wrangler JKU that I cut in half and turned into a flatbed. And it currently doesn't run. So that's probably the perfect test subject for this Jack. All right, so it does Jack things on a driveway, but a driveway is not what you're here for. So I found the most difficult trail I could find within 10 minutes of my house. So I pulled the Jack out of the truck and tossed it on the ground. Probably shouldn't have tossed it because this thing fell out of it from somewhere back here, and I don't know what it does or how necessary it is, but while I was back here trying to fish this thing out of this, I realized this bar is bent, and must have been like that when I got it, because I can't imagine dropping it like that would have caused it to bend. But anyways, just giving you guys an update on where we're at. As I mentioned, obviously, it's not much of an off-road trail, but obviously the Jack was designed to be used off the pavement. So we're going to use this sandy path as our next test. And because we know it can handle the Jeep, we're going to use the truck this time. I will say, you are definitely not dragging a regular floor jack around in the sand like this. Don't forget to disengage. So quick first thoughts. Obviously, you saw the Jack jumping around a little bit under there, and you can see those tires are digging into that sand quite a bit. Obviously, it's a big heavy truck, but being a 3-ton Jack, it should be able to lift one side of this up with no problem. I'm gonna reposition and we'll try it again. And yeah, that tire's off the ground. I'm sure we could definitely go higher, but that proves our point. As you can see, the tires dug in quite a bit on this really soft sand, but that's what we expected. Still rolls pretty dang easy. One final test. So what are my final thoughts on the Harbor Freight Badlands Off-road Jack? Well, it's pretty good. I mean, when you think about it in comparison to all the others that are on the market, obviously Pro Eagle makes one that's at the very top of the market. I believe Caterpillar also has one that's a little bit lower, but for $299 for a tool that you can use both at home and on the trail, I gotta say, I think it's a good buy. Now, of course, this is a really brief test, and I haven't really had an opportunity to use it for a real project yet. But I think what we saw today is that it's going to do the job if and when the time comes. One thing I will say is that if you're planning on taking it anywhere, you're going to want to come up with a way to mount this, because these big wheels, they just roll really, really well. And the back of my truck, every single time I took a turn, it took off into the other door panel. So Harbor Freight, you owe me new door panels on my truck, and also a detail, because this thing got the hole inside pretty freaking gross. With that said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Subscribe. I do a lot of fun things here on the channel, and reviewing brand new products in the off-road world, that's just part of it. I'll see you in the next one.